wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah, yeah. Anybody, anybody, yeah. Otajero, lórí méjò, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah. I wanna wake up in a Lamborghini. I want to fly for Santorini, make money to see me. Oh, yeah, yeah. If I want money, me, I do what dance, I got to say. If I want money, me, I'ma buy my shoto, I'ma buy my foya, I'ma buy me. Yeah, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah, yeah. Anybody, anybody, yeah. I didn't look at lórí méjò, oh, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah. I wanna be a billionaire, billionaire, yeah. Billionaire, mo fẹ́ lówó, mo fẹ́ yàlú, mo fẹ́ yàngàn, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ lówó, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ dìgbà, mo fẹ́ lówó. Lórí méjò, yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know lórí méjò, oh, yeah. Yeah. Wanna be a good understood.
Well, it's a beautiful morning on Tuesday. It's Consumer Voice again. My name is Oluyemi Omitola. You know, Consumer Voice is a program where we advocate consumer interest across different sectors. Whether you're buying products or you're buying services from businesses, even from government institutions, you're a consumer. So this program is actually, created for you to promote your interest, to also take care of things that concern you. You can always reach out to us if you have a problem with any product or with any services, so that we can actually take it up. My name is Oluyemi. As I said, Omitola is the surname. We're here again, and today is going to be a very exciting one, and it's going to be the topic we're going to discuss. If you're a parent, you have a stake in education sector, especially children education, primary, secondary school. You just have to get closer to learn from what we're going to discuss today, because it's actually a big issue. You can't just neglect it, because the future of our children is actually what counts most as we are building our nation. And today we're going to be discussing something very important. Like I said, for some time now, there's been quite a lot of expression, dispositions that are actually agitated concerning, children, and their attitude, their disposition, their engagement with social media. last 2 weeks or thereabout, there has been a case of a young girl for that matter, who actually, was reported to have been raped, and they captured those moments on social media, and on phone, and it was posted on social media. Quite a lot of, backlash, against the school, against even parents. Some are saying parents are to be blamed, some are saying teachers are to be blamed, some are saying the school administrators or the school owners are not even concerned about the moral development of children. They are just concerned about academic performance. Today we actually want to check moral development of students. Is it parent or school responsibility? And it's a very, very topical issue at this point in time. Now, to discuss this topic, we have in the house somebody who is even overqualified to discuss this topic and to also enlighten us properly. She has been in the education sector as a teacher, as a principal, as an education administrator for quite a long. She's a retired principal. We are talking of no one but Madam Olakanmi Adebimpe Onikepe. Madam, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on this program.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So,
good morning, everybody.
Yes, so, Madam, we're talking about moral development of students, parents, or school. Which of this stakeholders should be responsible? But critically speaking, I know that in the last few weeks, like I said earlier on, I was introducing this topic, that a lot of issues have come up about a girl who actually got enwrapped into that skirmish, or we'll call it scandal, so to speak. And then one way or the other, the entire social media is agog with quite a whole lot of backlash. Some people saying a whole lot of things, cacophony of noises here and there. So, but the key thing I actually want to find out, madam, is that how would you, first and foremost, how would you describe quality of education today? A kind of assessment of education, especially at that level, primary, secondary school.
Education is supposed to be a training ground for skills, for moral development, for acquisition of knowledge, for acquisition of religion beliefs also. But today we are focusing on the moral issue as you're talking about. And when you're talking of moral education, it doesn't rest with only the parents or the students or even the school at large. Because when you talk of moral education, it refers to the process through which children develop the standard of rights and wrong within the societal context. And this is based on social and cultural norms and even the law of the land. So what are we talking about? Today, when it comes to moral, proliferation of education here and there, the bodies that are supposed to monitor what they are supposed to monitor, are they really monitoring it? The parents that are supposed to leave the children in school, are they really leaving them? The school that are supposed to do what they are supposed to do, are they motivated enough to do it? So this is the roller coaster thing that you're talking about. It is not as it used to be. When we were younger, when a child goes to school, the only thing you can frighten a child with is, I'm going to tell your teacher. And the child will be as if the world wants to end at that time. But now, how do the children see their teacher? How do the teachers see the children? How do the parents see the teachers? If there is no synergy of these activities, you'll just be working at cross purposes. And then who suffers last? The society at large.
Wow.
So is it really the work of the teachers or the parents alone? Everybody is concerned. It's a moral education. Every facet of our life is concerned. So don't blame teachers. Don't put the blame on the parents. we are all concerned.
Thank you, madam. That's quite interesting. You just connect that to the quality of education that we have. That okay, things have changed really, especially in terms of conduct, in terms of attitude of both students, the teachers, and the parents. But now let's put that one aside. The school itself, generally, when you look at schools, when we talk about school, we have private, government-owned, public school, and thereabout. But specifically, I want you to touch on these two: the quality of public schools, then the quality of private schools.
You want absolute honesty?
Of course.
Fine. Let's keep rolling. In terms of academics, which is head knowledge, the private schools are better. In the sense that they are goaded to work. The staff are goaded to work.
Okay.
So if you are talking of academics, yes, you find it in private schools. Most private schools, they are well qualified. They have qualified teachers, and they force their teachers to do what they are supposed to do. But when it comes to other issues, moral issues, they are lacking. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The private schools want to make their money. They want children to be coming. They don't want to fold up.
Okay.
So whatever a child does, they will just gloss over it. It wouldn't have any meaning to them because they want to maintain their clients. But in public schools, because of incessant strikes, academics have been watered down. Although we have very qualified teachers in the public schools, just as an example, when my children were younger, they went to private schools, but I employed some of my colleagues to still be teaching them so that they can catch up better. They don't have facilities in public schools. When you talk of infrastructures, most of them are dilapidated. They are not just there. When you talk of things to work with, when you want to show them tools to work with, equipment and things like that, they improvised. When it comes to salary, no motivation enough until very recently. So you see, when it comes to academics, they may not do as much that they thought that the private schools are doing, but they are really working well. And then the morals aspect and everything, they have it. They want the children to be what they are supposed to be. They want to help out. But are the society allowing them? You've heard of cases of parents taking laws into their hands and beating up teachers when they try to tell the students the right thing to do, or when they try to show them the right way to go. So you see, when you don't have, except until very recently, that in Oshogbo, a parent was mandated to be sweeping the school of her daughter.
Wow. Because
the mother beat up, she invited thugs to beat up a teacher. So the judge now said her punishment is to be sweeping the school of the child.
That's school premises.
The school premises from the morning till the closing time, or she goes to prison. Probably, if that one is put in place, it will deter a lot of people that want to get laws into their own hands. When public teachers are trying to instill morals, it's not just for themselves, they are doing it for the society
at large.
And so they should be commended.
Okay, thank you very much. I really get connected to that. I know that while I was growing up, I went to public school. Now, each time we even see our teacher outside the school premises, we comport ourselves. I'm talking about even on weekends. By chance, you actually meet your teacher on the road, probably on the streets. Quickly you comport yourself, and there's this sense of don't let me mess up, because they will treat, they will deal with me when I get to school next day. So it's quite very, very interesting to know that those things are really changing. But madam, I also want to look at it from this perspective too. You're also a parent. Aside from being a school administrator, retired principal, you're a teacher. You spent over 3 decades. In education industry. let's look at parenting. How would you, rate the effectiveness of parenting today? Especially these are generation who are just parents. We're 30s, we're 40s. How would you describe our parenting style?
I will rate it 5%.
Okay. Okay.
We even have more problems on our hands presently because parents who are not even well taught are now bringing forth children, and what you don't have, you don't give. It is just the law of nature. If I ask you to give me 1,000 from your pocket now, if you don't have it, can you give it? So parents that are morally bankrupt, what do they want to teach their children? It's nothing. And you see, it is so alarming the rate at which the parents of nowadays, the rate at which they bring their children up. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should walk, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. But are they really teaching these children? What do they have that they want to impart to the children? These are and interestingly, children learn most from home. That is the foundation of building that you can build on. And if the foundation is not sound, what do you want to put on it? It will crumble as time goes by. So the parents nowadays, they are not generous. They are so temperamental, and they are so incorrigible. Then what kind of children are they bringing up? That is the case that crops up when you now want to reform their children in schools, and then the parent, because they don't see anything wrong with what they have overindulged these children. We were not indulged when we were growing up. I did not indulge my children. When the Bible says that foolishness is tied up in the heart of a child, and what drives it out? The rod of correction.
The rod of correction.
But can you beat in schools today? They will say corporal punishment. When we were younger, I remember in my primary school that I went to, like you said, you used to comport yourself. We have 10 rules, and the 11th rule with Mr. Ogumefun is a good child does not prostrate on the street. To tell you how we really value our teachers. When we see them, immediately you want to prostrate. You want to kneel down. And he said that is the 11th rule. A good child does not prostrate or kneel on the main road. So, if you do that, but you have to wait until he sees you, and then you acknowledge him, and then you do the needful. But do the parents allow their children to do that? You will see that some of the parents, it starts from when the child is small. The children are very brilliant, so even the toddlers, when a toddler bites you, and say, you just gloss over it, stop it. The toddler will do it again. But when the toddler bites you, and you hold her hand or wherever he bites you, and you bite it back, you see that he will not try it again. When a child slaps you, and you slap the child back, they are very sensitive to, he has done something wrong. What happens when a child throws something down, and then you beat the child will not complain, because the child knows that he or she has done something wrong. Are we doing all those ones today? To compound the problem, not very long ago, we used to have elderly people live within the same house with us. So what the parents lack, the elderly people will push it in. But because of religion, which is supposed to be the basis of morals, they have instilled fears in the heart of everybody. So when you see an elderly woman or a man now, that person is a witch, and you don't want them to come near you. So your mother-in-law does not have access to your children, to the grandchildren, because she's a witch. And that witch is the witch that trained your own husband or your wife before you got married. But that person now has become a witch. So where are we heading to? The way Yorubas build their houses, or I'm sure in most places, they build it with such intention that you have elderly people around the compound so that they can set matters straight. An adage says, when an elderly person is in the market, the head of the child is straightened.
That is
true. So who is straightening up things for us now? So the parents of nowadays, and the parenting system they adopt is too indulgent. That's
too
there's
indulgent.
no way children would not misbehave.
There's no way children will not misbehave.
That is the truth. Interestingly, it's not the child that feels the shame. It is the parent, because the child does not know where he or she is going. She doesn't understand the implication of the actions until he or she grows older, and then it now becomes this thing is shameful. But the shame begins with the parents. Even the Bible says that a child that does not behave well brings shames on the parents. So it's the parent that feels the shames. So why are they indulging the children? That's the question.
Oh wow, this is loaded. Madam, today I've come to realize we have quite, you said something, proliferation of schools, especially in the private arm of education. You see more schools here and there. You cannot walk 5 meters on the street without seeing a school now. I mean, a private school here and there. Now, when you watch or when you see how they promote the school, probably through the advertisement, with their billboard and the rest, you begin to see that they advertise more of the academic performance, academic achievement. Oh, you will see a massive billboard and they put the records. We all our students, they batch, they actually had A's, their subject, 9 A's, 10 A's, 11 A's, and you see all of them are actually they're in the university abroad and like that. You see all those things. Now the question that always comes to my mind is schooling all about academic performance? So the core concern is this: how come most of these schools do not even push the moral quality, as part of their education offering? Why?
They wouldn't, like I told you. One, we have regulatory agencies that are supposed to monitor the activities going on. Some of the schools are even they meddle with the performances of the children when they write exams.
Wow.
Those one that doesn't, why do you want them to promote morals when it's supposed to be what is supposed to be done at home? Is it their duty to do? Although they are to build on the foundation that the home has laid. But then what they are after is the academic performance of the students, which shouldn't be all. But if the regulatory bodies, if they monitor what they do, they would have straightened things out, put them right. This is not everything. I went to Olivet Baptist High School in Oyo, and I know you can be repeated if your moral is not up to standard. If you have a questionable, yes, you can repeat a class. If you have a questionable morals, you will be repeated. The only thing is that you cannot repeat a class 2 times. You are encouraged to repeat it once, and if you still don't do well, not only in academics, you are thrown home. And if you look at UI, their motto is academic excellence and morals, character. So what are they trying to say? So it means the school should be involved in the moral upbuilding of the students. But most of the private schools don't do it. If they do, they will lose their
markets.
They will lose their markets. But there are some schools that do that. I remember vividly that I'm not promoting any school. The school that my children went to, their secondary school, if you come late to school, they will beat you like hell. They don't mind. And if, even the thought of you cheating is frightening. I remember in my school, when they said, if you cheat in the exams, the song they will be singing for you on the piano is immediately they start that thing, it will be like if the floor should open and then you should just enter it. So you won't want to be caught in such situations. And when you are going to write exams, you go in with your slippers, bathroom slippers, so that they can monitor that you did not hide anything. And then when you get, who are they helping? They are not helping only themselves, they are helping the society at large. That is why it's a concern for everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yesteryears, if a child does not do well, and you see your neighbors, your parents' neighbor, you will go and hide because you know whether you like it or not. That neighbor will tell your parents when they get home, or that neighbor will discipline you there.
Right there.
But in most of the houses we build now, you don't even know your next door neighbor, let alone know their children. So how do you want to correct that? So it is everybody's duty.
Wow. Okay, that's quite very interesting. You know, after that scandal, you know, the one I mentioned earlier about a girl who actually was captured while doing some obscene, you know, activity, you know, and it was broadcast on social media. A lot of people keep talking about, you know, this failure, okay, on the part of parents. Some will say on the part of teachers or probably the school. And I begin to wonder that, okay, yes, both of them have roles to play, but one role should be larger than the other one. I don't know why I came to that conclusion, but what came to my mind was that, okay, now, most parents believe that, okay, if you observe some things in my kids, I mean, you're at school, you're a teacher, you're at school, you should find a way to do corrective measure to help my child to adjust properly. School will say that, okay, you have not done good parenting, and that's why these kids start behaving this way, and you don't transfer your failure, okay, and transfer it to me as my responsibility, because as a parent you should have done good job before you bring your kid to school when it comes to moral. So there's this back and forth between schools and parents. I don't know your view about this.
My view is simple.
Okay.
It is the foundation that is laid at home that the school builds on.
Okay.
But most of these parents, they don't have time for their children at all. Do they know who their children are? In school, when I was still teaching, I used to tell parents, do you really know your child? Most of these children, they have 3 types of behavior.
3 types?
Yes. This is because it is what the parents want to see that they will give them. They are so smart. It is what the school wants to see that they will bring to school. When they are with their peers, it's a different ball game entirely. So it is the parent that should try to know their children, because children stays more with them. But you did see this kind of boarding system. It's a way the parents want to shelve their responsibility on the school. They've forgotten that teachers too have responsibility. And don't forget that these children we are talking about, they belong to one faith or the other.
Yeah.
And the faith they belong to must have done some things to help these parents to make sure that they do their job nicely, and then they teach the children what to do. But what do you find in all those places? Just wanting to show off. They have turned themselves into theatrical people, wanting to do things that will be pleasing, eye pleasers. Is that how to discipline a child? When you have a saw, if you want to treat the saw very well, you don't have to be nice with the saw. When you are too lenient, the thing will be festering. But when you rub it and you brush it and you wash it, the saw will close up quickly. So who is supposed to do that? The school or the parents? The fault lies on all of us.
Okay.
Don't blame the school. Don't blame the parents. The religious institutions are there. The society are there. If a child is not well taken care of, where is it coming to? Is it not the society? That's why we have bad eggs amongst us. That's why we have bad parenting. But when a child does anything, and it's a collective responsibility, to me, I think it's a collective responsibility, but majorly the home should lay the foundation that others are going to build on.
Okay, that's lovely. I actually agree with you, ma. But now let's put parents aside and let's move to the school. How can the school balance academic performance and moral value? You know, a whole lot of, you say quite a lot of them are not really, you know, probably some people believe that those who teach or those who run private schools are, some of them are not really knowledgeable as regard managing, not just education, but managing the total quality development of a child, which is key, and I believe that school also exists to promote discipline, to promote moral development. So from your own perspective, how can, now going to private schools now how can they ensure that they also deliver moral quality while they are also promoting academic performance?
Thank you very much. That's a beautiful question. But if I put my ears down to make gains, are they not money making ventures? And if they discipline, I remember there's a school that used to, after SS2, they allowed their students to go and write this WAEC, GC. When they come back, our kids, if you work with teenagers, you know that they can naturally, they can snuff the life out of you with their excesses. So by the time they return back, they will believe that they had achieved, they have arrived, and they start their stupidity. So when they come back, the school will rewrite exams for them, and they call it qualifying exams. Some of them will have been so relaxed that they don't even brush up on their academics again. And by the time the result comes out, if it is only 50 or 20 that scales that exam, it's only that 20 that will write that exam.
Wow.
They will send the remaining ones out.
Wow.
Whether they would have passed to the SS3. Are you getting me?
Wow.
So when a school detaches itself from money making ventures and they want to see it as a social service, they will be doing better when it comes to all ramification of education in all
and they will
facets.
make money. At the end of
But
the day,
you see, the mistake they make is that once you are trusted with the academics and the morals excellence of the children, initially you may not make money, but as time goes by, who doesn't want a good thing? You'll make the money on the long run.
Their reputation.
But you see, the fear of losing out, you lose your good hands if you can't pay them. They won't stay with you. You have bills to pay. You pay your staff. You pay for maintenance of wherever you are using and things like that. I think it is the fear that makes the school to be silent when it comes to morals. Number one. Number two, when you are teaching or in any profession you rise through the ranks, and then you'll have garnered a lot of experiences. Most of the people that handle the administrative aspect of the schools, how well versed are they in the industry? You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So if you don't have very competent hands that can manage the administrative aspect of the school, people will do things wishy-washy because they lack enough experience to handle the situation on ground. That case in question you were talking about, that girl, if it had been handled well, it might not have filtered into the society and it is in the future that the child will regret this action. She did not know the implication of what she has done. And see the parents too. See the elder sister of the girl, the way she dressed. You see that charity begins from home. What are they learning from home? These people, they have thrown all their responsibility on the school. But does the school have the right hand to handle such situation? That is, if they have, you won't have crisis that you have. And if the parents, if the school is good enough to call off the blunt of parents that want to become naughty, throw their children out. The one you have, make sure that they are somebody in life, and then you continue with the school. As time goes by, the school will become what you want it to become. People will trust you with their children, and they'll bring children to you. Like the school my children went to, all my family members, they went there. Because I keep telling them. In fact, it got to a stage that if I get to the school because if my children misbehave, I'll beat them in that school right there and then they will not call me that I'm disturbing the children and it will bring down their psyche. I said, you can't love them more than I do. You understand? But the school too will not be lenient enough. And so if the school even wants to do anything, they will mellow it down because they know the parents will not even agree with the children.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Now the studio line to call, because we want to open the line so that we can have a contribution from our listeners. The studio line to call is 0916 104 7698. 0916 104 7698. You can also call 0811 052 6487. 0811 052 6487. You can also call 09022 809.257. You can call in, ask questions, and also make your contribution. Now, madam, this is something that I actually want to, examine, especially from your perspective as an educationist. You are also a mother, so to speak, grandmother, if I would say that also. Now, today, what I found out, because parents most of the parents are becoming, carefree about some certain, things they provide for their children. Now, what we have found out is that many parents now buy smartphones for their children in secondary school. Some even went as far as buying phone for a primary school, pupil, and they see it as part of helping the child to become they will say digitally literate. They want them to have access to information because it's the age of internet. They give it to them, and when a child has access to such smartphone, and the parent buy data so that she can access internet, the parents, will not know, those sites, those terrible sites, some of those pornography style sites that the kids go to. Now, how do we balance it? Yes, they need to be, get exposed to information because we're in information age. But how can a parent control those kind of, excessive, tendency to explore those terrible sites or terrible materials online?
Actually, it's not long for the parents to get their children to be in line with what the world is at present, to move along with the trend of events. However, there's a way you go about it. If they have what do you call this computer, table computer at home, buy data on it. When they want to use it, be near them so you monitor what they do. But getting a smartphone for even a child that has just got into the university, I'm not talking of secondary school now, could be a damaging effect. It could do more harm to the child. There are some sites you as an adult, you don't even request for that to pop up, that you just have to use your good judgment to just put it off, that you don't want such sites. But these children, they don't know the implication. They will see it. And this TikTok things that they do, that they want to be like other children, and they want to examine things that the TikTok things are doing. It is wrong. Parents should not, when you have money, it is not things like that you use to make sure that you are showing that you love your child. It doesn't show you love your child. It is showing you don't really even love that child at all. Buy a table computer, or even this your laptop. When you get home and you are with them, let them use it so that you can technically monitor what they do. Although they are smarter, but monitor what they go, the site they go to. If not, and this thing is addictive.
That's another thing.
Immediately they start using the smartphone, they get addicted to it. They will get good information, but at the same time, they will get very bad information at the same time. So the parents should manage what they do. But you see, because of the parents are so busy in themselves, the parents are so busy, they don't they don't in any way. They don't want to be disturbed. They just get these things for their children, and then they keep them perpetually busy on it, not minding the side they go to. So the parents need to be extra careful.
Okay, we want to go on short break. When we come back, we'll still continue with this conversation. We have been talking about morality in education, especially among children. We want to see the role of parent, the role of school in that process of, helping child or helping children to be morally upright. Let's go on short break. We're going to be back very soon.
Labo Entertainment.
Oh yeah. Let them see it. Àwọn ayé wọ́n rí ibi tí a ti bá dé, wọ́n fẹ́ mọ báwo la ṣe ṣe. Olúwa ló lọ́pẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ bàgbẹ́lẹ̀. Go away, don't come again another day. Straight to the top, I'm on my way. Èṣù ò lè ṣì mí lọ́nà. If you never suffer, you no go feel relate. I will be for the lungu. Me, I just give thanks for my men aside. So I mean my feelings like this. So many things. So me look on the professor. Popsy say make I go school. Later in the future, make I be a professor. Mo dẹ̀ ṣe rántí ọjọ́ yẹn ò lálẹ́ ìmọ̀ṣọ́. Téèyàn kan sọ pé oríire ni wípé kò ṣọ́. But now my music they spread like coronavirus. And when I pull up in a Lambo, they say, oh my gosh. Àwọn ayé wọ́n rí ibi tí a ti bá dé, wọ́n fẹ́ mọ báwo la ṣe ṣe. Olúwa ló lọ́pẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ bàgbẹ́lẹ̀. Go away, don't come again another day. Straight to the top, I'm on my way. Èṣù ò lè ṣì mí lọ́nà. If you never suffer, you never feel relate. I will be for the lungu. Me, I just give thanks for my men aside. So I mean my feelings like this. So many things. So many for the professor. Popsy say make I go school. Now in the future, make I be a professor. I remember Angela, the girl where they from. That type of no only shit because me no get money. I me be the boy that time where them say I no go blue. Now they don't cook that guy when I step into the show. Àwọn ayé wọ́n rí ibi tí a ti bá dé, wọ́n fẹ́ mọ báwo la ṣe ṣe. Olúwa ló lọ́pẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ bàgbẹ́lẹ̀. Go away, don't come again another day. Straight to the top, I'm on my way. Èṣù ò lè ṣì mí lọ́nà. If you never suffer, you no go feel relate. I will be for the lungu. Me, I just give thanks for my men aside. So I mean my feelings like this. So many things. So me nobody professor. Popsy say make I go school. Now in the future, make I be a professor. Olúwa bá wọn wí, Olúwa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. When money no dey, gbogbo àwọn tó jápa. Kò má dé easy lórí street o, yeah. Ọmọ ìyá mi. Missy my pamina.
It's Glitz on the beat.
You're welcome back. It's still Consumer Voice on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. We've been talking to Madam Olakomi Adebimpe Unikepe, educationist, former principal of one of the most respected school in Ibadan here. She's an educationist. She's also an education administrator. We've been talking about the moral dimension of education, looking at the role of parents and also the role of schools. Madam, now, we cannot, run away from the fact that we're in the age of digital, the age of smartphone, internets, and the rest of those things. I believe that every good thing that comes, whether especially technology, it has good and the ugly side of it. I want to see the possibility of schools using this technology to also help them in their moral, not only searching for information. How can the school help the students to develop even moral quality by exposing to this technology?
Thank you very much. We have what you call what do you call it? Digital laboratory in schools,
yes.
In secondary schools, even in primary school. They need to be exposed. But like you rightly said, if proper monitoring is not done, you will lose out on it. As you rightly said, there is nothing that is very bad that does not have a good side to it. And there's nothing that is extremely good that doesn't have its own bad side to it. But when you monitor properly, proper monitoring, then it will do the work you want it to do. But if it's not properly monitored, if children are just allowed to go even into this laboratory at schools, they don't even request for the site before it pops up.
Okay.
Dating site and things like that they don't even need. But if there's somebody there that monitors, that goes around and see what they're supposed to do, then we'll be doing the children good justice.
Okay.
But if there's no proper monitoring, we will all lose out. Even if you have a business, if it's not properly monitored, you go bankrupt soon. So it's the same thing with these children equally. And interestingly, at this stage of these children, they are very, very inquisitive. And they want to know a lot of things. They want to do a lot of things. But if they are controlled, monitoring is the control system that we need to put in place. We all gain these children back.
Okay.
I hope it's not lost.
Okay. Yeah, and I also want to find out from you. And now we've talked about school doing some things. Now, at home, because you mentioned something that is very, very critical. I mean, it touched me really, really. That even most of us who are parents today, we lack some certain primordial values that, challenge our parenting style, challenge our parenting system. And it's quite critical because, like you said, you cannot give what you don't have. Now, today, I want to know, how can parents, develop this value so that they can transfer to their children at home?
I'm an advocate of nothing is too late.
Okay.
Because, like I rightly said and you mentioned, you can't give what you don't have, but you can all work on it to make things better. And that's working on it to make things better is where do we take our own information from? One thing is that we have to get close to these children, and then we don't have to indulge these children. We have to be open, communicate with them, and discipline appropriately. When they need to be smack them. When they need to be talk to them. It's not that you have to be irritating them, because some parents even irritate their children with the way they do things because they don't like the proper way of going about it. I have somebody who said that while he was growing up, he had no parental input in his growth, that he was just groping to grow up. So such one, what do you want him to impart to the children? But you see, where we take our values from. What are the values, the societal values? Who are those ones? When we keep sharing experiences, like when we were younger, when they tell you stories, they will ask you to bring the moral aspect of it out. So we can still do the same thing here. Where do we go to receive our morals, our values from? Our worship places, what do they teach us? Is it just that everything is about enemies? That you want the enemies to die immediately, while you are not even knowing whether you are your own enemy as well? Then your parents, what happens to them? Whatever they are, they still have that experience that is broader than your own. How can they be of help? We are not saying everything they say we must take it hook, line and sinker. But how do we sieve out what they tell us to help us do the needful? Then in the neighborhood, when we were younger, when we go to fetch water in the public taps, we beat ourselves up and we go to know each other. We will play together. Do the children play like that these days? You just put them, and honestly, like I keep saying, I don't blame these children. You have a child, you lock the child up from morning till night. The only place the child goes is to the school. Why would the child not misbehave? Find appropriate area. Take these children. Let them share experiences. Monitor what they do. Monitor whom they go to. If my children are going on, when they were younger, if they were going on holidays, I follow them. They don't just go anywhere. Because they can be molested. Don't be too trusting. It's not that you keep... I have people that by 6 a.m. they will have dropped their children at school with the gatekeepers because they don't want to be late for their work. What are you working for? Is it not these children?
Wow. Madam, you've done so much, to trash this topic today. We really, really appreciate you. Madam Olakomi Adebimpe Unikepe, and an educationist, a retired principal, an education administrator, has been an expert, in that area for quite a long time, over 3 decades. Madam, thank you so much for coming. I know when we call you again, you're going to show up. Thank you.
Wonderful bearing my view here.
Okay.
I may not be right, but at least I'm passionate about don't crucify these children.
Okay.
Let's do things. When all of us work together, then we are going to get the best out of these children.
Wow.
And the society will be a better place for
Thank you.
everybody to live.
Thank you. Today we're going to be discussing Brand Nuggets strategy for partnership marketing. Partnership marketing is very, very powerful. Marketing effort for business is very critical. And marketing is costly, marketing is expensive. But there's something that you can do which is called partnership marketing. When you partner with somebody who offer, a complementary product, not a competitive product with yours, a complementary product, and you join resources together, you join capacity together, you join creativity together to promote, your brands. Brands of both of you, and it helps a lot, because one important thing is this: when you do partnership marketing, it's an opportunity for you to reduce cost, to also collaborate to promote the two products. But one important thing you should know is that if marketing is considered as too expensive, trust me, you are not going to do well in business, because that is the only way they get to know more about your product and people get to buy your product. So when we talk about partnership marketing, one important thing you should know is this: there are critical strategies that you must really, really explore to partner with people. When it comes to partnership marketing, you need to ensure that the product or service you are partnering with is complementary, not competitive. For example, you are into bakery and the other person is into bakery. You cannot do partnership marketing, because obviously you are competing brands, so it doesn't really work that way. But if somebody is selling bread, another one is selling ewagoy, as they used to say, it's complementary. And we see them in those days. I mean, at that traditional level, you see ewagoy and the bread seller, they combine together. Partnership marketing is when you actually get somebody who offer a complementary product, complementary product to yours, and what happen, then you offer the together. A restaurant, accommodating somebody who offer fruits, fruits. So that's that's partnership marketing. Number 2, you have to align your business, and your marketing goal with that of your partner. In other words, what exactly does the person want to achieve? What exactly do you want to achieve? Your goal must be matched together to be able to do what? To achieve what you set out to achieve. An important thing you also need to know is that you have to examine your brand personality and image vis-a-vis the brand personality and image of that partner. What happened? One important thing you should know, there's something we call principle of association. When you partner with somebody whose brand reputation is already damaged, it will affect your brand. You need to really know about that. So you need to look at the brand image of that product that you are partnering with, so that it doesn't really affect the image and personality of your home brand. It's important. You need to settle the financial and logistics implication between you and your partner. Know how much you are bringing to the table, what is expected of you. Also know what your partner is contributing, so that there won't be any challenge, okay, of accusation of cheating in that relationship. An important thing you also need to know, you need to define scope and duration of that marketing partnership. When is this partnership marketing going to end? Okay, what is the scope? Okay, are we selling at the same place? Are we doing the same advertising? Are we going on radio together? Are we going on TV together? Are we going to really do this together through, social media, so that you know exactly what you are partnering for? And lastly, which is also very important, explore cross-promotional opportunity. The person can promote your brand in his own marketing channel, while you can also promote the brand of the person in your own marketing channel. And lastly, which is very important, please track, monitor and evaluate how far that marketing partnership has been effective so far. That's what we have for you on Brand Nugget and Consumer Voice today. My name is Oluyemi Omitola. Catch you next week, the same station, the same time. Bye for now.